Hi, I am Elephant. Today let's see the anime, Farming Life in Another World episodes 8 to 12. How many girls will the boy named Hiraku attract to his harem? Like and subscribe, and let's see. As I mentioned before, a group of beast girls and young beast men has moved to the Great Tree Village, and they quickly integrate with the village. A few days later, Hiraku hears the sound of fighting near the village, and the angel in charge of patrolling tells him that it is Super Warcraft Grappling Bear and Bloody Viper fighting nearby. Hiraku would have been scared before, but now he has adjusted to his power and has one thought in his mind. That is, can he eat the two monsters? Hiraku uses his omnipotent farming tool to kill the two monsters in one blow, which shocks the villagers. Soon, Hiraku makes delicious bear and snake meat with his cooking skills. The villagers eat it happily, and they admire Hiraku more. Soon after, a group of dwarves comes to express their desire to live in the Great Tree Village. It turns out that they heard that there is a super delicious red wine in the Great Tree Village, and the dwarves like to drink alcohol so much, they can brew corn whiskey in exchange for becoming residents of the Great Tree Village. Since then, another race becomes a member of the Great Tree Village. Soon after, the dwarves brew corn whiskey with the abundant food in the village, and at night, they hold a party with the villagers. Thinking about the fact that they finally have some males in the village, Hiraku secretly asks these dwarves whether there are beauties they like, but they tell him that they only like beauties with beards. Hearing this, Hiraku can only lament that this is the culture gap. Peace only lasts for several days, and an accident strikes. One day, there are two dragons outside the village. It turns out that Drime of the Dragon clan often came to the Great Tree Village to drink, causing his wife and daughter to think he was cheating. After learning the truth, they finally feel relieved. When Drime's wife appeared just now, if it weren't for the help of her old friend, the spider in the village, she might have been killed by Hiraku. Unable to ignore this terrifying force, she decides to leave her daughter Lastisman in the village, thinking that it will be best if her daughter can fall into a relationship with Hiraku. Since then, Lastisman has also stayed in the Great Tree Village. Lastisman is so powerful that she always breaks the crops while working. Later, Hiraku discovers that she is very familiar with etiquette and other norms, so he puts her in charge of diplomatic relations in the village. Bezel, the messenger of the demonic kingdom, discovers that the diplomat of the Great Tree Village is from the terrifying dragon clan, and he is once again shocked by the power of the Great Tree Village. When Bezel returns home, he makes the decision to send his daughter, Florem, to the Great Tree Village in order to get more intelligence. Florem is frightened by the members on the first day she comes to the village. She sees angels, high-level elves, hell wolves, and demon spiders, and it will be many times more powerful than the demonic kingdom if all races join forces. Hearing that the village chief can defeat the dragons alone, she is even more afraid of Hiraku. She has only one thought in her mind, which is to have a good relationship with the Great Tree Village. Since then, the Great Tree Village has grown rapidly. One day, Hiraku wants to eat the seafood hot pot, so he sends Florem and the diplomat Lastisman to distant seas to trade with a local seafood merchant. Soon after, the seafood merchant comes to the Great Tree Village to sign a contract and build a long-term trading relationship with them. The reason why the seafood merchant agrees without hesitation is that he is frightened by the terrifying power of the village, and the crops in the village have really high quality. After that, another dragon arrives in the Great Tree Village. This dragon is actually Drime's sister Hakurin, who hears that Drime is going to marry his daughter to the head of the Great Tree Village, so she comes to test Hiraku's strength. Most importantly, Lastisman is 900 years younger than Hakurin, and she doesn't want her niece to find a lover earlier than her. After learning Hakurin's identity, Hiraku entertains Hakurin. Hakurin heard that the Great Tree Village has a special game called Mahjong in addition to delicious food, and then she asks Hiraku to take her to play. So Hiraku takes Hakurin, Drime, and Lastisman to play Mahjong together. To make things funnier, they decide to take off a piece of clothing for every loss. In the end, Hiraku wins no advantage in the game and finally strips naked. After this night, Hakurin decides to stay in the Great Tree Village. Hiraku discovers that Hakurin has a talent for being a teacher and puts Hakurin in charge of the education of the village children. In addition, there is one more interesting incident in the village. When the demon wolves are out on patrol, they discover the Lamia's ladies, who offer to submit to the Great Tree Village to avoid invasion. Hiraku discovers that the Lamias have a talent for transport, and since then, they have become a transport party in the Great Tree Village, helping to transport supplies to various cities. At this moment, Yuri, the daughter of the Demon King, is discussing with three nobles how to attack the Great Tree Village. It turns out that Florem is a friend of the Demon King's daughter. She discovers that Florem has not been home for a long time, thinking that Florem has been kidnapped by the people of the Great Tree Village, so she intends to launch an attack to get Florem back. Florem has become the treasurer of the Great Tree Village, and she hears the news from her father in time. With the Lamia's help, she successfully makes the army trying to attack the village flee in fear. To avoid such incidents happening again, Florem takes Yuri and the 3 noble girls to visit the Great Tree Village, and after learning about the terrifying power of the Great Tree Village, the girls dare not provoke the Great Tree Village anymore. Yuri also learns from Florem that Florem volunteered to stay in the Great Tree Village rather than be threatened. Not only does the village has various delicious food, but also the people in the village are very friendly, for which she stays here. The 3 noble sisters then offer to stay as Florem's subordinates, and they have long been tired of the intrigue between the nobles in the city. After that, the Great Tree Village returns to its peace. As time passes by, autumn is coming. The villagers begin collecting food for the winter, only to find that even if they fill the warehouse, they still have a large amount of extra food. Hakuren and Lastismun decide to give some of the extra food to their distant parents. When Hakuren returns to the Great Tree Village, she takes back a group of mountain elves. These mountain elves originally lived on a distant mountain, where food and supplies are rare, and these mountain elves almost couldn't survive. Seeing these poor elves, Hakuren intends to let them move to the Great Tree Village. These mountain elves think that they can help the village hunt with their hunting skills. However, any creature in the Death Forest is more powerful than them, and every time they go out to hunt, they not only gain nothing, but also often get injured. Fortunately, Hiraku finds that these mountain elves can find clay suitable for making pottery because they have lived in the mountains for a long time. In the end, he assigns them to make pottery in the village. Soon, winter arrives. The villagers notice that Rue seems to be sick. She has been wanting to vomit all the time, and she doesn't want to eat anything except for some sour things, such as tomatoes. The beast girl next to her guesses that Rue may be pregnant. The villagers are thrilled to learn that Rue is pregnant. From that day on, Rue begins to rest. As for who is the child's father, it is definitely Hiraku. Soon, winter has gone, and Rue's belly grows bigger. Hiraku cares about Rue's health every day, which makes Rue feel very warm. Now the Great Tree Village is basically formed. The maids are responsible for indoor cleaning and cooking. Since they insist on waking up earlier than the village chief, Hiraku has to get up later or the maids will be very tired. The 3 angels in charge of patrol work are also very special. They are good-looking and strong in battle, but they are very lazy outside of work. They are not good at housework at all, and even their clothes are washed by lizard men. Hiraku also uses his omnipotent farming tool to make props, including toys for village children and furniture. Combat training is also held regularly in the village in case the enemy invades. During this time, Hiraku discovers that since Rue became pregnant, every time he takes a bath, some elven beauties will sneak into his room. It seems that these elven beauties want to have babies with Hiraku. This makes him very helpless. One day, a new guest comes to the village, and when Hiraku finds him, he is kowtowing to the statue of the god carved by Hiraku. It turns out that this guest is the vampire progenitor, who is thousands of years old, and can be regarded as the elder of Rue. He heard that Rue is pregnant and comes to visit her. According to him, the god of this world blessed him when he was born, so he respects the god very much. Seeing that the vampire progenitor likes the statue of the god so much, Hiraku decides to carve a copy of the statue and give it to the vampire progenitor. In exchange, the vampire progenitor gives him an expensive piano. Later, Hiraku goes to a merchant and buys a few cheap pianos for usual practice. Since then, the villagers have had another interesting course. The girls in the demonic kingdom are proficient in playing the piano and will teach the villagers to play the piano during breaks. Time flies, and after a few months, the day for Rue to give birth almost comes. To celebrate the baby's coming, the villagers prepare various gifts for Rue. The spider even made clothes for the baby. Hiraku has been by Rue's side, and the two dream about their beautiful future life together. Just then, Rue suddenly feels pain, and it is time to give birth. Hiraku immediately calls the villagers for help, and with everyone's effort, the baby is born healthy. When Hiraku holds the baby, he is very excited. In his previous life, he was lying in a hospital bed because of illness, and he lived his life alone. In this life, he has his lover and his child, and he vows to let his child grow up healthy. The coming of the baby has brought vitality to the Great Tree Village, and the villagers all like this baby so much. As the Great Tree Village grows larger and larger, Hiraku, as the village leader, needs to handle every work and deal, which makes him very busy. If he goes on like this, he can't spend more time with his wife and child, so he thinks of a good plan. One day, he gathers everyone and proposes a new system, which is to exchange the items with the currency they make. At first, they can get 3 special coins, which they can exchange for their favorite items, whether it's wine, food, or furniture. With the addition of the monetary system, the rules of the Great Tree Village become more standardized. Hiraku has finally become relieved. Soon after, the Great Tree Village holds a banquet to celebrate the baby's coming. The dwarves bring their own special red wine, and everyone drinks very happily that night. Other countries and forces heard that the head of the Great Tree Village has had his own baby, and they begin to prepare their own gifts. The Great Tree Village has become a very powerful force in this world. In addition, many people in this world want to join the rich Great Tree Village. At everyone's suggestion, Hiraka decides to keep extending his territory and build a new village next to the Great Tree Village, which is used to help the homeless refugees. He hopes that he can help more people with his own strength. The villagers are energetic, and they want to pass on the happy life of the Great Tree Village to those who are suffering. This is the end of this anime, but not the end of the Great Tree Village. Hiraka will take the omnipotent farming tool and the hope for the future to help everyone in this world. Instead of resenting the world for the pain he suffered in his previous life, Hiraka treats everyone with kindness. Strong people should not use their own power to oppress others, but should be kind to the world even after experiencing the sufferings of life, just like Hiraka. Well, today's video ends here. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye.